All right, fam. Now for our feature story of the day. GameStop finishes $1.5 billion raise to add Bitcoin to its balance sheet. That now gives them roughly $6 billion worth of fresh capital to deploy into the pretty little bitty going up forever Laura. So this is major news. And as shared here, GameStop labeled the indenture for its convertible bonds as Project Rocket in the file name submitted to the SEC. Let's go Project Rocket. Game on, fam. This is pretty massive. Video game retailer GameStop Corporation, as you know as GME, finished a convertible debt offering that raised $1.5 billion with some proceeds earmarked for buying the pretty little bitty. The offering was initially set to raise at least $1.3 billion, but purchasers opted for an additional $200 million aggregate principal amount on the notes, according to the GameStop April 1st filing with the US SEC. Quoting them here, the company expects to use the net proceeds from the offering for general corporate purposes, including the acquisition of Bitcoin in a manner consistent with the company's investment policy. The convertible notes are debt that can later be converted into equity and are scheduled to mature April 1st, 2030, so has a 5-year term, unless earlier converted, redeemed, or repurchased. The conversion rate for the notes will initially be 33 shares of common stock per $1,000 principal amount of the notes, according to the filing. GameStop shares didn't see a significant move following the close of the convertible debt offering. GME closed April 1st trading day up 1.3% at $22.61, as you can see here on your screen, and only saw an extra 0.5% bump after the bell. And positive shareholder sentiment saw the stock jump nearly 12% to $28.36 on March 26th, the day after GameStop announced its Bitcoin plan. But its fortunes reversed the next day, with GME shares dropping nearly 24% to $21.68. Analysts at the time suggest the chilly reception reflected shareholders' fear of GameStop's deeper problems within the business model. On March 25th, GameStop confirmed that it had received board approval to invest in Bitcoin and the US dollar pegged stablecoins using the notes and its cash reserves. Those reserves stood at $4.77 billion as of February 1st, compared with $921 million a year earlier. So within 1 year, they grew their cash reserves from $920 million to $4.77 billion. And what does that tell us now? That they have $6 billion in cash that will wither away like a melting ice cube if they don't deploy it into the hardest asset known to mankind, the one and only apex predator. Pretty little bitty going up forever, Laura. Now, GameStop is a relative latecomer amongst public companies creating Bitcoin treasuries. As we all know, MicroStrategy was the first publicly traded company to put pretty little bitty on the balance sheet. That was back in 2020, and they've been crushing it ever since. And a slew of others have already added Bitcoin to the balance sheet following the Sailor put. The video game retailer previously made forays in the crypto space with a crypto wallet for its users, which it eventually shut down in November of 2023 due to the regulatory bullshit. And GameStop is also considered the first example of a meme stock success after the short squeeze of 2021 that sent the stock surging over 1,000% in a single month as traders flipped the table on the hedge funds that had been making money, shorten the company. And this is important because of the ethos behind the company and the investors. They don't like Wall Street. So if we could basically short Wall Street and long Bitcoin, I think that's precisely what they're going to do, because Bitcoin severs the head of the central banking cartels. And if you don't know, now you know. Bitcoin's their Achilles heel. So if you want the ultimate revenge, you want the ultimate payback from the central scammers of the world, Project Rocket, baby, to the moon. And if you don't know, now you know.